From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Police responding to a shooting at a shopping mall.
In Columbia, South Carolina, gun violence broke out at the Columbiana Center Mall north of the city during the busy holiday weekend. Police tweeting that people were injured and medics were treating them, but the extent of the injuries not known. Police responded to calls of shots fired and began evacuating the mall. The multi-level facility has about 100 stores. No word on the motive for the incident. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
And no fatalities have been reported. Evacuation orders for close to 5,000 people still in place as firefighters battle a number of blazes in New Mexico, including near the Reduso area that's been seen hundreds of homes destroyed and around 6,500 acres burned between the two fires. Commander Dave Bales, leading the charge against the fires, says many in the community will likely have to rebuild in the weeks and months ahead.
I mean, it's 200 plus homes in just in the McBride fire, and then the 6 homes in outbuildings in the Nogales fire. As you can imagine, that's a huge loss, not just as well as to the economy and all that.
Repopulation efforts are now underway for select areas. New attacks on Ukraine's capital, even as Russian forces move east. ABC's Marcus Moore's in Kyiv.
Russia stepping up its retaliation after the sinking this week of its flagship cruiser, the Moskva. Ukrainian and U.S. officials say it was hit with 2 Neptune missiles. Russia denied the claims, saying the ship sank after a fire on board.
This as Russia has reportedly sent a formal diplomatic note to the U.S. and U.S. allies, warning them to stop supplying military aid to Ukraine or face unpredictable consequences. Ukraine's president saying the length of the war will be directly affected by the amount of support his country gets from the global community. At the Vatican, Pope Francis leading an Easter Vigil service inside St. Peter's Basilica, part of an extraordinary holiday weekend for 3 major world religions, Passover, Ramadan, Easter, occurring at the same time this year. You're listening to ABC News. 1 person was killed, 7 others injured Saturday in an explosion on board an oil tanker in the waters off of Hong Kong. The cause of the explosion not immediately clear. The casualties reportedly included crew members from Indonesia and Myanmar. Crunch time for taxpayers ahead of Monday's filing deadline. ABC's Deirdre Bolton has some last-minute tips.
If you cannot meet the Monday deadline, for whatever reason, request an extension, but know that if you still owe money, you actually have to pay the government by Monday, even if you are turning in the rest of your paperwork late. Otherwise, you will pay a penalty.
And Deirdre recommends that you should file electronically. 96% of all individual returns are filed this way, and those who qualify can do so for free. America's oldest active park ranger retired Friday.
100-year-old Betty Reed Soskin hung up her ranger hat Friday at the Rosie the Riveter Historical Park and Museum in Richmond, California. She played a big role in preserving the stories of African Americans on the home front during World War II. Soskin joined the Air Force in 1942, and during a retirement ceremony, she spoke about the discrimination she faced as a black woman.
I was not considered a whole person.
And for that reason, Soskin said she never identified with Rosie the Riveter, who is white.
Even today, I don't feel like a Rosie.
President Obama presented Soskin with a presidential commemorative coin in 2015. Todd Ant, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.